Hello and welcome back to Toy Box Tutorials. It's been a while, but we're back and I'm ready to continue this series. As before, I will air a new episode for this series every Friday. My regular series, which is currently Disneyland, will air on Mondays and Wednesdays. For the next couple of months, I'm going to be covering some of the most advanced Creativi-toys in Disney Infinity 3.0. These are the toys that are required for setting up an economy system. And I should point out that if you are relatively new to the toy box, you should probably start at the beginning of this series and work your way up to these episodes, because these toys are pretty advanced and you need to have a good handle on the basics before you attempt to use these toys. After I cover the economy system toys, then I'll be doing some smaller tutorials to cover some miscellaneous toys, including some of the new toys that were introduced by the Marvel Battlegrounds playset. To my knowledge, nobody has ever done any tutorials on those toys, so I want to make sure I cover them. I'll also cover the interior toy box and some other toys. My plan is to finally wrap up this series by the end of the year. Now for today's episode, I'm going to do something a little different than my usual tutorials. First, I want to talk to you about toy box economy systems in general, and then I want to demo a small toy box that we're going to build in the coming weeks that uses an economy system. We'll start covering the specific Creativi-toys needed to build an economy system in the next tutorial. So what is an economy system? Well, basically, an economy system allows the player to earn money, which they can then use to purchase toys that they can add to the toy box environment. The economy system that we have was originally designed for the Disney Infinity 2.0 toy box games Assault on Asgard and Stitch's Tropical Rescue. These are tower defense style games in which the player defends a base and its treasure from waves of attacking enemies. By defeating enemies and rescuing townspeople, the player earns money that they can spend to add more defensive toys to their base. The developers made their economy system available for the toy box mode, which is great, but unfortunately it's still designed primarily for tower defense style games. The developers did not modify it for more general use, and because of that it has some limitations. You can still use it for other kinds of games or activities that require an economy system, but it may not behave exactly the way you would like. As I cover these toys in the coming weeks, I'll point out those limitations and what you can do about them, if anything, but you need to be aware that the economy system isn't very flexible. You're just going to have to accept some of its quirks and deal with it as best you can. Now, if you've played Assault on Asgard or Stitch's Tropical Rescue, then you've seen the economy system in action. We're going to build a similar game in the toy box over the coming weeks. This is a tower defense style game that works similar to those 2.0 games, and this will give you a good example of how to use these economy toys and what they can do. If you want to see an example of how to use an economy system for something other than a tower defense style game, then you should check out my Aladdin series. I used an economy system in my Agrabah toy box that allows players to earn money necessary to bribe a guard so they can get the key to the dungeon. I gave a brief tutorial about economy systems in that series, but for my toy box tutorial series, I'm going to cover the economy toys in much greater detail. And along the way, I'll also talk about how you might go about using the toy box economy system to build something like the economy system in Dreamlight Valley, because I know there are a few toy box creators who are interested in that. Well, I think that's enough of me talking. Let's take a look at a toy box economy system in action. This is my own version of a tower defense game like Assault on Asgard or Stitch's Tropical Rescue, and this is what we're going to build over the next couple of months. In this game, players need to prevent the witches' bears from capturing Dunbrock's treasures, and they must defend against 3 waves of enemies, and each wave is tougher and more numerous than the previous wave. So the first thing we need to do is go and speak with our mission giver over here, and that is Queen Eleanor. And she says, prepare your defenses. And it automatically opens up our inventory, and by default we have an Asgardian spread turret that we can use, and enough money to place one of these somewhere in the environment. And you'll notice, if I scroll over here, we have an arrow coming from that gate. That tells us that that's where the enemies are coming from. There are some other gates that are here, and there's no arrows in front of those. So right now we only have to worry about the bears coming at the treasures from this direction. And so we could put this tower, or this turret, over there by the gate, but I want to be able to collect the treasures and defend these, or collect the coins and defend these treasures. So we're going to place this turret right here. And later on, I think this will be able to help defend that other one as well. So we'll put that down there. And then you'll notice we don't have any funds to be able to place a second one. Okay, so we'll go ahead and exit the editor. And wave 1. And come along, Your Majesty. Let's get you to safety before they attack. And that'll give us some extra loot that we can use after the wave is done to buy some more defenses. Alright. Collect some cash. Hey, don't shoot at me. It shouldn't, because we're on the same team. Thought that was weird, though, that it sounded like it was powering up to get ready to shoot. And now that guy jumped over behind us. But thankfully the turret took care of him. We got some more guys coming. I like watching my turret in action. All right. I think there's 5 groups of these guys that are going to attack in this wave. I think we have one more to go. And I just want to hang out here for the next stage of this. So we'll let them come to us. This first wave is pretty easy, because the turret makes this pretty easy. There we go. And now we have 1 minute to deliver the townspeople to the base, and looks like we've got all 3 of them down on this end. That'll make it easy. Where'd you go? Well, ideally it should make it easy. Come on, come back here. I'm trying to help you. Nice. We got 20 seconds to spare. That's pretty unusual to have all 3 enemies over on this end, because usually they're spread out around the toy box, and you have to choose who you'll go after. Alright. Getting ready for the next wave. Wave complete. Now we select the traps that we're going to use for the next wave. That opens up the shop for us. And we have a number of items that are available. Mickey has access to all kinds of technology from all different kinds of eras. So being a sorcerer, I guess he can do that. And you'll notice we have 60 coins in our inventory in the upper left. We have to be careful how we spend in the shop, because purchasing one of these is only going to add it to our inventory, doesn't actually place it in the environment. That's going to cost more money. So we can't just buy everything we want and spend all our money, because then we won't have any money left to actually place something in our environment. So I think for this round, let's purchase the umbrella, because I really like that. That's a lot of fun to use. And we'll purchase that little thing. And I got 40 left to spend. So we'll go ahead and exit. Now this time, you'll notice there's an arrow coming from that gate, as well as an arrow over there. So the enemies for Wave 2 are going to be coming from 2 different directions. I already have a turret here to cover that area. So let's put another one over here. And if we place this in the right spot, it can help us defend against not only the enemies from that direction, but it might be able to help a little bit with enemies from over there. So we'll place that. And then the springing umbrella is one of my favorite traps. This thing just cracks me up when I watch the enemies go tumbling. And I got just enough left for the beach ball launcher. So let's see, where can we put that? Let's put that right here. And there we go. Wave 2. We got enemies over there. We got enemies over there. And looks like they're starting to come from that direction. They're already attacking over here. I'm just going to hang out here in the middle. The umbrella got one guy. It's so funny. Got him. Whoa, don't want to get too close to that. Lost my coin though. Alright, we got some enemies over here. We got them over here. Looks like these are closer. Alright, got those coins. Oops. Thank you, Mr. Turret. Alright, we got a guy trapped behind a tree over there. That happens occasionally. And this wave is not going to continue spawning more enemies over here until we take care of him. Now, of course, though, we got all those guys over there. So I want to get back into our protective area here. Hey, where are you going? It's a little crazier this time around because you got enemies coming from both directions. This is where it helps to have a second player. Get up, get up. Make sure I get my money. Uh-oh. Okay, nobody coming from that direction. We still have some guys coming from over here. Alright, and that is it for this wave. And now we got 1 minute to find townspeople and save them. I think there were 2 the other way, but let's head over here. We haven't visited over here yet. That gets us some extra cash. 36 seconds. Can I get over here and save anybody? Maybe. Hold still. Hey, there's one. Nice. Where'd that other one go? Four seconds. Whew. Just made it. Alright, select the traps you'll use. And now here we are in the shop menu again for the final wave. We have 65 left to spend. Let's get that duck decoy. That leaves us with 45 to spend. And I think we'll place that duck decoy right here. And you'll notice we have enemies now coming from this way, and from this way, and from that way. So we want to make sure we put something over here that will help defend. I think maybe a turret might help. Okay, we get that little notification, but we don't have network, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, final wave. Enemies are coming from there. They're coming from there. They're not coming through the middle gate over there yet. That'll happen here soon. So for right now, I'd only have to focus on 2 different directions. Lots to pay attention to here, isn't there? It just gets busier as we go. Oh no! Get up, Mickey! What a save! Oh no! Got him. Oh good, the duck decoy's doing its job. Alright, enemies coming from that way. Looks like they're spawning over there now. Goodness. This is getting crazy. How are we doing over here? Well, that turret's keeping them at bay. Uh-oh. Oh no. Uh-oh. Let that turret take care of them. Oh no! Not that it matters if I pick these coins up, of course, because this is the final round. I'm never going to be able to spend them. Alright, more enemies coming from that way. Enemies over there, they're attacking that turret though. That's keeping them busy. I'm not too worried about them. And there's another guy stuck over there. Uh-oh, this guy got through. Hey, we won! Ah, don't shoot! So that's the game that we're going to build in the coming weeks as we take a look at the economy system toys and build a working example of how to use them. But before we can do that, I need to show you how to build this little toy box. So tomorrow, I'm going to post a special bonus video for that. That way you'll be able to follow along with my tutorials and build this game for yourself. And again, I recommend doing that because it's easier to learn how these toys work if you have a working example that you can reference and experiment with. Thank you for watching my video today. Before you go, please hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know what you think of my tower defense game and whether you're excited about the economy system tutorials. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and you like Disney Infinity and my toy boxes and tutorials, then click my photo in the lower right corner of this video to subscribe. That's all for me today. Have a great weekend.